Okay.
Oh, there's Dave.
I've been here. Where you been?
All right, should I kill the call now? I can hear you through the computer.
Yeah.
All right.
Can I hear you?
Okay.
I I can't hear him in here. I gotta wear headphones? Hello?
I got you.
Oh yeah, okay. This works. So this has a 15-second delay, just so you know.
Oh, really? Okay.
That way if you say something bad I can mute you.
I won't. I'll try not to.
Alright, we should be going live in a minute.
All right.
We're live? Oh, shoot. Oh yeah. Okay, hey, we are on the line. Okay, hey. This is David, Sabres Mafia. We're coming live to you from Sabres Mafia's home studio here. And we have Chris Pienta on the line, a longtime Sabres fan. Say hi to Chris. Hi, Chris. I've been a fan for the Sabres since probably about 1945. Maybe not. Maybe not. So this is one of the segments that we're going to do. This isn't going to be that long. But one of the things we want to do, we want to get this thing going because we've been saying we want to been doing the Sabres Mafia stream for some time. So one of the segments we want to do is we want to actually bring people in from the group and all. And, if you want to participate in that, you let me know. And we'll do that. We'll get you on. We'll get your point of view on the Sabres, stuff like that. Okay, so you've been a fan for a long time, right?
Absolutely. I've been a fan since 1970, since I could crawl.
70. Okay, so with what's going on with the Sabres today, what do you see? Where do you see them going?
Actually, I do see a lot of improvement going forward with respect to the forwards, and definitely Cousins as far as its center, improving his aspect. I do think that we need to firm up the defense a lot more than what it's showing or shown so far, in the sense that there's just too much of a collapse in front of the net, and you can't expect young goaltenders to be under that type of rapid fire situation, and be able to, um, sustain that for a certain period of time. I mean, proof positive was last night's game with the two goals being scored against, UPL as quickly as they were. He had absolutely no help whatsoever. You got to clean the garbage out in front of the net and give him the help that he needs.
Yeah, we had a defenseman who's 29 years old playing yesterday, who's never played. He barely ever played in the NHL. So what you're looking at basically is because of COVID, everything else. They got a guy that's playing that's an AHL player, and he looked it. He gave up some horrible, horrible situations, and what the bad situations. But you're right, the collapsing, the goal you're talking about, that was the third goal, I believe, if I'm not
Right.
mistaken. And after that, it's so sad because after that they played really well. After the
Right.
first 20 minutes, they came out in the second period, played well. Came out in the third period and played well. It's a young team. I know people will say we've been rebuilding forever. I hear it all the time. I see it all the time online. And what they have to understand is this rebuild is different than the last one. You can see the players maturing. You can see these kids that are going to be here who are in the AHL right now. They're very good players and stuff. So,
There's
you know,
there's like five of our prospects that are actually going to the Junior Olympics right now,
Junior Olympics.
or the World Juniors, right?
No, World Juniors got canceled. You mean the
I,
Olympics?
weren't they just saying on the news that the kids are going to be playing for Team Canada this morning?
Maybe they were talking about the Olympics because the
Yeah,
Olympics are
exactly.
coming up. Yeah,
Right.
the World Juniors got canceled.
But as far as, like, expanding on what you were saying, though, you could definitely tell that the conditioning is there, the speed is there, the work ethic is there. You don't have the prima donnas that won't go deep into the corners, that won't dig for the puck, that won't, try and generate, something out of nothing.
Right.
You know, the guys are out there actually sacrificing themselves on shots, shot blocks, whereas, you know, you haven't seen that in a myriad of years, you know?
And talking to you personally over the last few years, you've basically been the, you've even said that this team is pretty soft. They won't go into the corners. They don't. So what you're saying is you're seeing something different today.
Right, exactly. You know, and even through COVID, you know, with Donnie Granado being out and you know the assistant coaches stepping up, I mean, all these kids are giving that effort and giving forth the product on the ice that we're you know wanting to see. The unfortunate part is that when you watch it from a fan standpoint at home, that they don't get the type of draw that the Bills get, and they should be getting it because they absolutely deserve the fan base to be there in those seats for them at those games.
Yeah, I think that has a lot to do with a lot of different factors. One of them being, of course, you can't deny COVID. I think COVID's a major issue. But you know, there's some things going on with that. There's a lot of stuff going on. Not only COVID, the team hasn't been very good. I mean, and I think people are looking at the past. But I've actually gone to games this year, and the last game I went to was. It seems like the attendance was coming back, and then you get COVID again. Then all this COVID breaks out again, and it is a fact of life. It is something that we have to deal with. So, you know, I think we got that going on too.
What do
But I
you think
guess
about the statement from the commissioner that they want to try and move the hockey season into the summer aspect as far as like pushing it forward? What do you
that's
think
what.
about that?
Well, what he's talking about there is the Olympics, I
What do
believe.
you think about the statement
Got some feed.
aspect as far
Hold
as
on,
like pushing it forward? What do you think about that?
there. I accidentally turned my phone up. I'm sorry. Okay, so I think he was talking about the Olympics. I think he wants to be part of the Summer Olympics. So I don't think he was talking about the season. I just think he was talking about the Olympics. What I do think is because of all this COVID and everything, like they did in 2019, I think they should expand the playoffs like they did then. Because there's teams that obviously are getting hit worse than other teams. There's unfair advantages going on with teams. So teams are going to lose games and maybe they won't lose because they don't have the players. So I think that's one thing I think they should consider doing. I mean, Canada right now, I don't think they have any fans because I was watching a game the other day, Edmonton, Toronto. There's nobody there. So does
No.
it? So they must have put the lockdown back on, huh?
Yeah, actually, from what I understand, I think Canada is under lockdown right now. They can't go out to restaurants. They can't go, you know, normal grocery shopping and things like that. My two nieces live up there, and from what I understand, certain areas are no differently than what we went through. So that may be a huge contributing factor with regards to the sporting venues and everything up there that you're seeing too, Dave.
Right, right. So you were talking about goaltending a little earlier, the goaltending issues. Now, earlier in the year, we were having some massive issues. Um, UPL has come in. I think he's kind of settled that all down. What do you see in his game that you like?
Honestly, I know I'm probably either going to get beat up on this or we're going to see a lot of comments about it, but I actually see a calmness in him that I haven't seen in our goaltenders in years. Allmark started to show signs of it, but then you know he kind of he faltered quite a bit, and he never got back on his game. He never got the ice time that he really deserved to get to the point of where he needed to be. And you know, I definitely like the fact that he challenges, that he takes the right positioning, that he's in the right spots at the right times. But you know, again, like I said, you know, he's going to need a defensive tandem in front of him that's capable of sustaining, you know, that goal and that crease. Um,
Right.
but you know, also too, everybody's all high on Darlene, you know, because he scored a couple goals the other night, and you know, he's had you know a couple of halfway decent games and stuff. But it seems to me as though every time I see him on the ice, you know, the puck is skipping over his stick, and he's missing the puck at the blue line, or he's misplaying the puck, or there were goals that were scored against us in lieu of his issues that he's dealing with. If he's supposed to be such a dynamic player, then how can he be having this much trouble at this point in his career?
Yeah. Look, I'm going to give him a little bit of a break on this because he is 21 years old, and it takes a long time to develop a defenseman, as far as with the talent level and everything else like that. He's got 7 points in the last 7 games, so he is contributing. He is an offensive defenseman. That's what he was brought in to do, pretty much. Defense is different than it used to be. If you watch other games and everything, you see a lot of this with a lot of teams. Hockey's got more scoring going on now than it did 5 years ago, 10 years ago, by far. And
Well,
there's a lot of skill, And the Sabres, you know what? The Sabres have fought more this year than I think they have in the last 4 years combined. I have noticed that. So it seems like
yeah, so much for that leaving the game, right?
yeah, that's not going to happen. And actually, this team they kind of need that. They really do. You can't just let team people walk all over you and stuff like that. I'm not a big fighting guy. I don't get up and cheer and yeah, yay, yay, yay. I understand why. I'm more about the skill and how fast the game is, the beauty of it. Fighting to me is just something that happens, but I understand there's a time and a place for it, if you know what I mean. Just like in life.
Well, no, absolutely. But if you think about it realistically, I mean, if you've got somebody, a superstar talent, or anybody for that matter, that runs your player and boards the player or is spearing, I mean, everybody is so high on Crosby, okay? But I can show you multiple plays time and time again where he's speared people, tripped people, forearmed them, elbowed them in the face,
Yeah,
and there's absolutely nothing done because he's hockey's golden boy, you know.
he's a great
And
player.
for what?
He's a great player.
He truly is. He truly is. He does have the talent, but there's also a lot that he gets away with, even more so than Ovechkin, because I'll tell you what, Ovechkin may do those things and may have done those things within his career, but he backed it up. He had the acumen. He also took care of what he needed to on the ice, and he produced. So there's a big difference between somebody who I can respect, like Ovechkin, versus Crosby.
Right. No, I respect both of them. I think they're both phenomenal hockey players. And as far as getting away with stuff, I know people have always said that, and I just kind of shrug that off. I don't think anybody really gets special treatment or anything. Not today. Does he play physical? Yeah, he does. And you want your guy to play physical. You really do. One thing we haven't talked about since coming back to Sabres the podcast and everything because it happened a while ago was the Eichel trade and what that is, how that's going to benefit the Sabres and what's going to happen going forward. Now, on my program that we did for my predictions, I actually predicted the. I hate to do this, but predicted the Vegas Knights to actually win the Stanley Cup, which is going to send Sabres Mafia into just like, oh, they're going to melt down. Let's face it. But the talent they have on that team, and not because of Eichel, but an addition of Eichel to a team like that, and that's gonna put them way over the top. But I still think
You,
it's a good trade, and I'll tell you why as soon as you tell me what you think.
well, you literally have a silver dollar response for me with respect to this, heads and tails, because the injury that Eichel has, specifically with the neck injury that he has and the surgery that he wanted, it could have been career ending. And this is exactly why the Buffalo Sabres organization didn't want to go there and do that surgery. They wanted to try and find any other method to try and help him, to get him healthy, to get him back on the ice, to get him back to the game that he had. And you can clearly see that once he had that injury, that the whole following year that he wasn't himself. And then subsequently, sitting out because of the fact that he didn't come to terms with what he wanted to get with when he wanted to get it. Do I see that as a possibility? Sure, it could absolutely be a possibility because of the fact that when he's on his game, there's nobody that could, in my eyes, that could match him toe to toe as far as winning face-offs, as far as spotting something. The kid's got eyes in the back of his head
Yeah, the
with
vision. Yeah, but so does
you
Krebs,
know.
by the way.
Well, yeah, Krebs is good,
Yeah,
but as far as that's concerned, to be 100% honest with you, I don't think that Vegas is going to be going anywhere near a Stanley Cup. I think that they have too much competition in the Western Conference, and they barely made it the last time that they got out there, and it was by a fluke. And they have goaltending issues too, as it stands. So
You're not impressed with Leonard this year.
no.
You should be. You know what? Honestly, I've watched games from Vegas this year, and if he didn't have the offense behind him that he has not been good. Just
No.
has not been good.
No.
I agree with you. By the way, I also picked the Dallas Cowboys to win the Super Bowl, and I hate them too. So this year I'm going on a hate thing and stuff. I'm gonna pick every team I hate to win.
Oh God!
That way,
We're gonna die!
next thing I'm gonna do is pick the Yankees to win the World Series. So I think that's my philosophy. Is I'm just.
But all depends.
And then I'm.
That all depends on how much money they spend again this year. So, and how much talent that they steal from the other undermarket teams that can't afford to keep their talent there, which is unfortunate because they should be regulated too.
Yes.
In the sense that they can't be stealing talent from other players because they could pay them more money. I mean, the love of the game is the love of the game, and at the end of the day, you're taking the love of the game out of the game.
Yep, you're right. And the salary cap has proven to work. All you got to do is look at the NHL as an example. Before the salary cap, the Philadelphia Flyers, New York Rangers were building super teams and nobody could touch them. And that's what was going on. Detroit Red Wings, another one. Look what happened after the salary cap came in. Look what happened to the Rangers. Look what happened to Detroit. And I said this was going to happen. As soon as when I heard about the salary cap, I said, watch now. Let's see how good they really are. And sure enough, they all fell apart. They did not not just go out and get anybody they wanted. And
I think the Rangers are a definite threat. I think the Rangers are a definite threat and a cup contender this year.
They are now. But think about when the salary cap first came into being. They had to shed so much, and the same thing would happen in baseball if it happens. I know this ain't baseball show, but it would happen. You would see the Yankees totally tank. They'd suck. Balls. Oh, sorry. Excuse me. But anyway, it wouldn't be very good. But we're not going to get into that. But so the salary cap has definitely helped people like teams like Buffalo survive. It's helped Ottawa, and it was something hockey desperately needed. But we're not. That's not what we're here for, I guess.
No.
So I saw a lot of mistakes yesterday in the first period. And I mean a lot of mistakes. And they got to clean that up. And by the second, third period, they were playing solid. But it's like not going to use this as an excuse, but if you don't play for 6-7 days, you get one game. And then again, we're not going to play for 6 or 7 days again. And then we don't play until next Tuesday or Wednesday. That's not a good thing. It's just... It takes you totally out of rhythm. And that first period, you could see it. They're totally out of rhythm.
That speaks to the conditioning, though, Dave. Okay, these are professional athletes. These are not, high school or collegiate athletes. Okay, and when they come out and do the press conferences and they stand before the media and explain that it's their job and they feel like they didn't do their job that night. Well, yes, you didn't do your job. You still got paid. You put a very poor product on the ice. You didn't give forth the effort. But yet you still received your paycheck.
Right. Hey, just to ask you a question. I know you said you got some things to do today, and I want to make sure you're good with that, and you're not going to get in trouble or anything.
No, I won't. I got about another 10 minutes, and I should be good.
Okay, just so everybody knows, Chris is like the most awesome trainer driver there is. So, he gets all kinds of accolades and everything else. So, if you need a kid who needs to be trained or whatever, drive. There he is driving.
I was going to say you couldn't have queued that up. I thought that was in front of the studio.
Yeah, that was from the studio. You should come in live sometime. You're really good at this, by the way. I'm going to give you a lot of accolades on this because I know you don't do this. This is something you ever did this before?
No, but I have taught before in classroom settings and things. And
that's true.
It's no different. It's just expressing how you feel and being truthful and honest.
And Chris is also one of the members who doesn't sit there and doesn't jot a lot of stuff down in the site because he thinks a lot of people there are a bunch of morons. He's told me that a few times. And doesn't want to get involved in all that nonsense. So we got to respect people like that. And there's more people like Chris than there is the people that... Hey! Moron! Something like that. So we appreciate all the people that that come on the show and come on the
Needs to be
sports.
more team positivity. That's what it needs to be, instead of, the Debbie Downers that,
Yeah.
do nothing but complain all the time and put down the system and the admins and so on and so forth. There are so many people and so much work that goes on behind the scenes that they're not even, taking into consideration. And it's not just a fly by night, seat of your pants type of a thing. And, when I go on there and I'm reading these things, I'm like, honestly, do we have a ED or do we have,
See,
what's going on here?
So you're good because you can control even dealing with them. Where
Yeah.
I haven't learned to do that. So,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it's like, that's
Well,
something I
to
need
be
to learn.
honest, that happened about 17 years ago when I married my wife. She took the fire out of me and she calmed me right down. So,
You
because
did.
you remember,
Nobody's gone in a dumpster since. So I mean,
no, 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 it's been about 20 some odd years since they did the flip over the top. So,
yeah. So you're doing good. So that's great. Um, we talk about the defensive lapses, Godaling, COVID. I've got my notes down here that I jotted down here. We're 10, 18, and 6. Okay, that's what our
hey,
record
let's talk.
is right now.
Let's talk about Vincenzo.
Who?
Vincenzo Hinostroza.
Oh, yeah, Vinny. Vinny.
Yeah.
You like Vinny?
I love Vincenzo. I cannot believe the addition with this kid. I mean, he's definitely going to be here for a while. He reminds me, honestly, of like a real young Pekka.
Yeah. I don't think he's young,
Yeah.
though, Vinny.
No, well, I'm saying, I mean, his work ethic and the way that he plays, because, as far as like, he's like 210 miles an hour when he's on the ice
Yeah.
every single shift.
He's the
I've
short,
never seen him take
he's
it.
the short guy, right?
Yeah, I've never seen him take
I
29.
don't like
And-
short people. I don't like
Oh,
short
well.
people, so,
Well, you like my wife. She's short.
she's a female. That's different. But actually, I don't even like them, do I? I got a 6 foot tall redhead, so.
Yeah, Brenda's a tall lady.
No. Yeah, I know what you're saying about Vinny. And that's short joke. That's it. Peter's short, too, so,
Yeah.
just like you. No.
I'm not short.
5'8"?
I'm 5'10".
Really?
See, he's tall
Yeah.
for a short person.
Yeah, you're a tall, short person.
Yeah,
He'd
yeah.
be short for a tall
If
person.
you're not at least 6 foot, you're short.
No. Actually, I'm in the middle, and I'm the smallest one of the three. My younger brother is 6'2".
Yeah, I know that they were taller than you. I know the height was taken. I know. See, there's only so
Yeah.
much height to go around. And, sorry.
Well, good things come in small packages, and support our Buffalo Sabres. That's what it's all about.
You got it. Well, I appreciate you coming on here. We're going to cut it short. We're not going to go very long today. I just wanted to get something out there because it's been a while. But I want to make this something that we do going forward as far as for the show. I'd love to, love for you to have, if you have time, of course, because I know your work schedule and family and stuff like that and that always should come first, no doubt about it. And any closing words where you think this team is going? I mean, this year we're not going to make the playoffs. I'm sure you agree there.
Right.
But
It's gonna
do
be
you think
it's gonna be
some of
close.
those kids are going to come up before the end of the year and contribute? Do you see? Dang, their names. Krebs coming back. Well, he's on COVID, and that's what
Yeah.
we didn't talk about. The Krebs. I wanted to. I said that I still like the trade. Okay, I think Krebs is going to be a really good player. Tuck is going to be Tuck. He's going to add a lot as far as toughness, and he's willing to get in front of the net. He'll give you some. He'll give you a lot there. And
Right.
What did we get? A first round pick?
Yeah.
I couldn't remember what it was, but a first round pick next year. So we got three
Next
picks going in. The difference with
Right.
this team now and why this rebuild is different is because they are stocking picks, keeping players, not trading them away for old guys that have 2 years on their contract left, like we did in the past.
Yeah, or the one and dones. I was so fed up with the one and dones. It's like, here, sign a 1-year contract and then leave and go to another team and leave us hanging again.
Today, not yesterday, not last year, not the year he won the Conn Smythe, whatever trophy he won. Would you trade Tage Thompson for O'Reilly today?
Absolutely.
You would.
I would. You know why? Do you want to know why?
Yeah.
Stanley Cup experience. Superior veteran, okay? definite hockey acumen. Tage Thompson's up and coming, okay, but he's still very awkward. He still has probably about another year to 2 years before he becomes a really effective forward to where he needs to be. O'Reilly's already where he needs to be. And when O'Reilly was here, how many games did he go without making a point?
Quite a few.
Quite no,
I'd have to look
no,
it up.
yeah, no. Actually, he was pretty much. If he didn't get an assist, he was getting a goal when he was on the ice, and it was definitely a part of the play every single time he was on the ice.
I'd really have to look it up, honestly, so to see what that is. But
I mean,
would-
that's not even
I
not
would-
even a question to me. That's not even a question to me. I would take O'Reilly any day of the week and 2 times on Sunday.
I wouldn't. Cap hit number 1, age number 2, because he is older and stuff. 3, this team is not ready to go to the Stanley Cup, and by the time it is, he'd be gone. So he's not that young. So you're talking
Right, but the knowledge to get him to that point, the team. I mean, as far as the young kids that we have now, all that knowledge that he could bring to the dressing room to get these kids to that elite level, to have them understand that there is a love of the game, and that's why he does what he does.
Tuck has the same knowledge. Tuck was on a Stanley Cup team.
I understand that, and I love Tuck. As a matter of fact, that's going to be my next jersey, number 89.
Oh, yeah.
You know, but
I got 24.
did you?
Yeah, I got cousins. And Brenda.
Okay.
Brenda got. You know who Brenda got? Tage.
Oh, what'd she get? Gergensons?
No, she's been in love with Tage since the day they picked it.
Oh God, she's gonna see this podcast and she's gonna be angry with me because I told her to get rid of Tage.
Oh yeah, you don't remember when we went to the casino thing when I met Jack and all that other stuff? She got Tage.
Yeah.
She got pictures.
Yeah,
with
the
Tage.
tucks and pucks and whatever, or the casino night.
The casino night. She got who'd she get pictures with? Tage. That was like
Okay.
before he was anything. That's who she
Well, I
wanted a
thought-
picture with.
I thought she was a big Gergensons guy.
No, it was Tage. She couldn't find a jersey last year. We finally found one.
No, I don't think anybody could for that matter.
Probably not. Okay, I know you got to get going though, and I do appreciate you coming on for this segment. We'll leave it up on the page and stuff like that for a little bit. And
I appreciate you guys. Thanks for having me on. Thanks for having me a part of the show. I appreciate it.
not a problem, man. Peace,
You guys take care.
and I'll see you later. That was Chris Pienta, a contributor to Sabres Mafia. So we wanted to have him on the podcast. Not going to be here too long. Just wanted to come on here because we've been trying to get this show rebooted for a while, and that's kind of where we're at right now. So we'll be doing more segments and do more things in the future, hopefully going forward. Again, anybody want to come on the show, message me, let me know. We're not, some of the rules pretty simple. We're going to keep away from the profanity. We're going to keep away from bashing players. We're not doing that. We're not going to bash teams. We're going to keep this totally professional. I appreciate your time. Thank you. Out. Go Sabres.